video this Friday. I have something kind of cute that I think you're going to really enjoy, and it's different too. I was looking at an old catalog that I had. You remember that company, Victorian Trading Company? Sadly, they went out of business lately. But anyway, they used to have the most beautiful catalogs. You probably remember that. And I saw in an old one that I found this bracelet where they'd taken beads and made them look like little perfume bottles. And I'm like, well, maybe we could do that. Let's see what happens, you know. So I messed around with it, and I'm like, yeah, you could do it. I tend to make them a little bit big, but maybe for teaching purposes right now, that's good to show you. Now, as I go on in my journey making these, I'm going to want to try to condense them and make them smaller, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. This is the bracelet that Javi took the picture for the thumbnail of this video. And just tell you real quick something about it, and I'll show you what you need. Okay, so this is Heavy Links Cuban 18 karat gold plated chain. So this is something I had in my stash from an old factory lot, and I don't have any more because it's horribly expensive, because it's heavy, and because it is 18K plated. If you guys are interested in it, let me know. I can get it, but we don't have any right now. But there are plenty of other ones that you can use. We have at Beast Boutiques, or maybe you have it in your own stash. Rolo chain's a real good one to use. So anyway, but I use the heavy Cuban links. And what I did is I got my little perfume bottle links on here, and then I have some little flowery ones in between. And I think this is just a little bit too full, but it is very pretty, and it does look good on. But just to show you, like, I'll pull one out, this one in the middle. Is that showing up good, Javi? That's a perfume bottle. I'm thinking when I make them that I'm thinking of the old Factice bottles that you would see on the counter in a department store years ago. The great big oversized ones that were fancy, or designer one, like, I don't know how you say it, Nina Ricci used to make it, L'air du Temps. I don't speak French, so I don't know, but you probably know which one. It had the lucite flying bird on the top of it, and it was very ornate. And these were pretty things that you would put on your dresser and not only enjoy the scent inside of it, but just the beautiful bottle. And people collect them today too. Well, that's what I had in mind when I made these. So here's one like this, and here's one like this. I'm going to show you how you wrap the stuff around it to make it look like that. And then here's another one. So this would be like one that would stand up, you know. Here's another one. Just, you know, just let your imagination go free. But there's like all kinds of different ones in here. I don't think there's any repeats. So I had such a blast making this. And it's really not too hard. It's just like I say, as going on, you know, you'll refine the process, because I intend to. Because I just started doing them. But anyway, they're really pretty, and it looks beautiful on. Let me see if I can drape it across my hand so you can see. It's big, you know, it's a statement piece for sure. But these are all acrylic beads, and if you want to use glass ones, that's fine. But you need to remember, it's going to be really, really heavy if you do that. These are acrylic beads out of our bead candy mix, and I'll just give you a little bit of an example of what that is in case you've not seen bead candy at Beast Boutiques. It's in the bead mixes section. It's very, very popular. And here is a bowl, my personal bowl of bead candy mix. And this is about, listen, glass one. This is about the equivalent of a bag and a half. I put a few of the German glass bubble beads in here because I thought they worked. So anyway, they're not expensive. We have a good stock of them at the website, and more coming. We always are getting them more because people love them, and they're very expensive, lightweight, happy beads. That's why I call it bead candy. So I use this, but I also use this, which we don't really have at the website. This is the mix that I'm giving away right now at the website. So I started last week to give away, it's kind of a generous sample, enough that you could make a little something out of it, you know. But there are these beautiful petals, and these little tiny cup, and these little flat ones. And then these are the ones that we have on the site already, but they have the double holes underneath that you can wire them. Let's see if I can hold that up so you can see. See, there's the hole. And then there are some metallic beads and some metal beads. The metal beads tend to go to the bottom. So when I pack the little sample bags, I try to get some of them too. So these are really important for making stuff. And I'll show you too how, you know, this works out for you. So let me just make one for you, and then it's going to be up to you, because it's about your imagination and your creativity. So just for example, I pulled some beads out of my stash that I thought might work. I pulled these two, but I don't know if I'm going to use them or not. If I was going smaller, maybe a little bit. But anyways, I started, and I have about this far. So I'm thinking of a big factice bottle, you know, the big showy designer bottles of perfume like collectors would want. And, you know, it would stand up on its own. And then I have to wrap the top. But let me just take this apart to show you how I came up with this real quick. Okay, so I'm using 4-inch gold-plated head pins. Okay, we have some long ones that have ball ends too, that are kind of nice. I have more of these coming in. The reason I like them is it's just about the right length. And I have the head pin end on it, so I don't have to try and loop it myself. So what I do is I have to start off by getting something that's like a stopper. And this little bead, I love these beads. They're one of my favorite metal beads. These little, they're supposed to be bead caps and go like that. But they're so pretty this way. I like to use them in mosaic a lot. But anyway, I take it and I put it with the pretty side down, actually, because it's not going to really show there. And then I take one of these bigger guys on there. You know, whatever you can find. Go through your stuff, get a little box out, and make yourself a stash of just the right parts you think you'd want to play with. That's what I've done here. And I just sit and play. And yesterday I played a lot because I wanted to really get certain things down. But anyway, I put this one down, and I put it, you know, like that, dome side up. All right, and then I had one of these beads. It's kind of bulbous.
You can do it.
That would make a really beautiful perfume bottle bottom, but it's up to you. You know, whatever you want. And this is going to be kind of big too, so maybe you'd put it on a real chunky chain with fewer pieces than my sample piece was. So I just got that on there like that, and then I'm going to do this one on top to kind of decorate it. Okay, and then I've got a little spacer bead here. Any spacer bead you have, or don't use it, or you could do a rhinestone rondelle there, that would work. And then I have this little cup bead, little cream colored cup bead that I took out of the stuff that I'm giving away right now. We have a mix that's a little bit similar but not quite. This one's really special what's in it. So anyway, I'm going to put it cup side up. So can you see? See, cup side up. It's really pretty when you're looking at it from my angle here, straight down. And then I've got another round one, and I'm going to put it. Come on, where's the hole? There it is. And now I'm going to put a little cap. All right, so there's my perfume bottle. You know, for better or for worse, you can make them much smaller if you want. This actually might make a nice pendant. Or something on a keychain even. Anyway, so now I'm going to turn the top, and this is standard. We always do this, you know, so I don't really need to show you how. I don't think. Probably y'all can do it better than I can. But now I'm going to flip this over, pull it around, and now I've got my loop. Now I'm going to tighten my loop up. It's a little bit wonky. Now I'm going to take, excuse me, my flat nose or chain nose, whatever you call them, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to wrap it around. And I'm going to try to get it as tight as I can. Okay, and I'm only going to go around like 2-3 times tops. You don't need a lot. Okay, so now I'm going to clip this off as closely as I can. Let's see how good I got it. So I really hate those tails sticking out. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll tighten that up with this. And then this is something that we don't have to linger with here. You know, I'll come back and fix it up later. But what you want to do is go back once you get that top done and kind of straighten it all out. So this is one that doesn't have like the little sprayer atomizer thing on it. Okay, so let's do one more real quick. Since we got that out of the way, we know what we're doing. Okay, so I've got another one of these that's like that. Another bead. And I'm going to put my little flower bead down first, and that's kind of like to make a stand for it, make it the stand. And then I'm going to do this one, dome side up, and then I'm going to take my other one and put it here. It's another piece of bead candy. Then I'm going to take this one, put it dome side down. And then I'm going to take this other spacer bead, which could be a rhinestone spacer too. That would be very pretty. Put it there. Now for the top bead, I might do a little something different. No, I got this one. This is close. So I'm going to do this one. And see, I put my little cream bead down there too. I thought, yeah, here's another one. I prepared well for a change. Okay, so here's my top. There's another bead thing, you know, another perfume bottle, so to speak. So I'm going to put a little cap on the end, a little cast antique gold cap. Now we're going to do the atomizer, and this takes a little bit of time, like to get it figured out and worked out, because you know you're always using different beads every time you do this, because you might not use beads from my place, you might use some from your stash, or the bead candy beads are all different. There are not a lot of repeats in there. So, you know, you got that to worry about too. So anyway, I've got a nice little, this is just enough for hanging. So you want to be sure you can get, you know, something through that. Get your jump through it. And then I'm going to tightly wrap this the best I can. Okay, this is enough. Go twice around, that's it. Now what you want to do, straighten this the best you can. And then pull up on it. And then just bend. Bend it as smoothly as you can with your fingers. I was trying to do it with these, but it just got it wonky for me, so I found my fingers were better, and then I could adjust it. Okay, so like that. Now, if you want, you could just put your bead on here now and take this tail and just wrap it around. You could do that, but I like to do something a little different. And time is going to tell with this if I've got it close enough so it doesn't get caught on clothing. I don't think it will. But anyway, this is what I want to do. But first of all, you could just wrap it around, put a bead, and there you got your atomizer piece. So let's see, what do I have here if I want to do it like the way I did on this? Take it and flip around. I don't have any more of these tulips in here, so what am I going to use? I might just take and use this. Or do I have a round one? The round one would be better. Let's see what I've got in here quick. Okay, we'll just use this. This is probably not going to be the best choice, but it won't be a terrible choice. Okay, so we can get done. So I'm going to thread this on, and I'm going to thread it up kind of to the elbow of the little crook that you made. Okay, so I got enough to work with here. And then I'm just going to take this and... I want it to come down to about here. So I'm going to take this and roll this. Hopefully you can see. Try to stabilize my arms so that I'm not shaking. Too much coffee. I got to have my coffee though in the mornings. These are those looped pliers which I like. Now so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a really smooth loop. Really, really smooth. But small. And I want it to touch the wire so this won't come off, you know. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and bend it up a little bit. And I'm going to see where I'm at with this. Okay, this isn't bad. I could have rolled it another time even. So now I'm going to play with this a little bit and get it bent in there where I want, because I don't want it sticking way out. And then I'll take this little ring loop thing I made. I'm going to bend it in a little bit so it stays toward the bottle. This is something I'm finding I'm still playing with, so you may have a better idea. You might be watching this and say, oh man, is she struggling? I know better than that. Fine, tell me about it. But anyway, tell me about what you figured out. But you can get this pulled over pretty tight so that it's not going to, you know, get caught on stuff. And I'm going to have to work at that a little bit. It's just manipulating it until you get the right place. But how pretty is that, you know? How pretty is that? You know how I see this? It's like on a little lariat bracelet or necklace, not bracelet, a necklace that you loop around your neck like once and then one on each side or something. Or if you did this a little smaller, I'm thinking for my next bracelet, I want to work a little bit smaller, and I might do like this bead and this bead. Here, let me just get, this would be my bottom, the little flower, and then I would put maybe a bead cap, and then one of these lampwork beads are so pretty. I don't know if we still have any or more or not. I know I'm always getting more. And then I'll probably put this little minty type flower on just for an accent. I think it's pretty, but you know, you put what you want. You put what you want. Okay, so there I have that. And then maybe I put another one of these. And I'd find a little tiny bead for there. If I can find one quick. Here's one. Might work. And then go from there and make it smaller. Okay, so I can make it a smaller one. So in this case, let's see what happens real fast. You can get after it pretty quick. So I just want to show you options a little bit. Okay. That's kind of a big loop. I don't like that loop. It's a little bit wonky, but we'll have to work with that later. So just twice, because you got to have a lot of a tail, you know, enough of a tail to do what you want to do. Now on this one, I think I would just bend it up and kind of pull the, you know, straighten it a little bit. That's what I want to say. And then I think since I have a nice neck here that I could want loop around, I think I will just loop it instead of twirl it, you know, and curl it and have it loose. So I need a really tiny bead. This isn't quite tiny enough, but we're going to go with it. It's kind of not tiny enough at all, but at least I can show you what I'm doing. No, that's not going to work at all. Anyway, something real tiny. Let me just finish looping this, and then I'll show you what I would do. So I take this and take it around the middle there, you know, like how I do a lot of my loops that I like to do on these. And I'm just using my fingers, guys. That works fine. You don't need to come around a lot. It's caught. So what I'm going to do now is, of course, I'm going to cut it off. If you had enough left, you could make a little loop then and make it cute, which I've done. Get in there and get it off. Be careful you don't cut the whole thing. Now I've got to straighten this out because I've got a little bit sticking out. All right, that's not bad. So I've got one like that. But just imagine this with a little tiny bead on there for the atomizer. You know, let's see if it'll stand up on its own. Yeah, see, it stands up on its own. It's a little crooked, but you can straighten that out. Anyway, that's my idea. So you could do it much smaller than these great big ones. You know, it just all depends on your vision for it. So I hope you have some fun with it. The German bubble beads that we have on Beads Boutiques are very hard to find. You might want to try those as they look like the bubbles that might be in a bottle. You know, those might be good. Bead candy is good because it's inexpensive. You have tons of options. 4-inch head pins. I use gold ones, but we have silver ones too. If you can't find the 4-inch, we probably have some 3, so you could try those. Then assorted bead caps, assorted rhinestone rondelles, however you like it. And then, of course, too, remove this, is a special mix. And I will have some to sell soon too. But what I'm doing is I'm giving this away right now till it's gone, with orders of $35 and up at beadsboutiques.com. Okay, so we have a bunch of them made already. So it looks like there's not much here, but there is. There's a lot here, plus I have more. So it's not going to run out. So give me a little order, maybe pick up some of the other things, and we'll give you some of this that you can play with. So I hope you have some fun with this. I hope this gives you new ideas. This will make great earrings too, by the way, if you stayed smaller. So see what you can come up and share it with us, okay? So have a great day. Happy Friday. Thanks, guys.